might think I'm being a wuss, but they really hurt. Good morning everyone, welcome back to my allotment diaries. My name is Emma, these are my allotment diaries. I would love you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I vlog everything to do with my allotment garden, vegetable growing, and shortly I'll be starting a new series in my back garden showing you how to grow lots of fruit and vegetables in pots or in a really small space, and I'll just be showing you how much I can grow in my little tiny London garden, so that'll be exciting too. Have some good news before we start the video. I've been rambling on about these slug pellets. They're natural slug pellets, not evil ones. They're called Slugless, organic slug and snail pellets. They're like pellets, like that. And you put them around your crops and then you water them and they turn sort of like into a surface area that slugs and snails don't like. They're by a company called Andermatt's Home and Garden, and they have given me a discount code for you guys. So I'm going to link this product below in the description bar, and if you use my discount code, which will also be below or on the screen now somewhere, so you'll get 15% off, which is really exciting. And these are great. I really honestly recommend them. They're such a great slug deterrent. And really easy to use, and I love the packaging. It's all very eco-friendly, plastic bag, paper bag, you know. Anyway, that was cool. Good news as well, stopped at the shop on the way home yesterday and got my son a bag of marshmallows, which means he told me where my little trowel was. It was actually in one of the tree branches. Had sort of jammed it in between, so got it back, which is excellent news. Obviously gave in, but you know, I'm only human. Thought I would start this morning with our favourite game. Is it alive or has it died? One of my favourite games to play at the allotment plot when I first arrive. We go around, we see what's alive, what's died. The only thing this game is missing is Stephen Mulhern in a shiny jacket coming out, playing it on ITV. But it's okay, it's fine. Maybe one day we'll get signed up. Right, we're going to start with the brassicas. We're going to start with the brassicas, which are in this wonderful netted cage. If you're asking how you water it, I mean, water gets through this. This allows water in. And then if I show you, you see it's all wet under here. And also, look, this is a good example of those pellets, the slug pellets. They've got wet and they've sort of turned into this surface area that cannot be crossed by slugs and snails. I don't know why they don't like it, but they just don't like it. And as you can see, minimal damage. Minimal. Very good. I can't remember what these are. I think they're cauliflowers. I don't know. We'll find out. All alive. First contestant of the show is alive. Fantastic. Obviously the tulips are all gone. Thank you for all the love on my tulip. I got tulip fire basically, and had to pull up all of my favourite tulips at the back there, which was really devastating. But luckily a lot of you agreed with me and said yes, it is tulip fire, because I did think as I was pulling them up, imagine I put this video up and then everyone's like, no, it's just the tulipo bug or whatever, tulip buggy, and you just need to spray it with something and then it would be gone. But it wasn't, it was tulip fire, so thank you. Right, we're moving on to broad beans now. My broad beans were actually planted out a little bit later than last year, so they're a little bit smaller than I'm sort of used to them being at this time of year. Normally they're sort of up here somewhere, but this year they're quite small. Obviously I planted some new ones as well that I got from B&Q. I've removed the netting now just because they're getting a bit tall for it, and also I just want to let them go. This is my other slug and snail deterrent, which is crushed whelk shells from a company called Shell on Earth, and these are doing really well as well. That seems to have stopped them from eating them. Some of these plants don't look quite as happy as the other ones, but I just feel like they're going to be alright. They are sort of still growing. I mean, this one here, this is a lot healthier and doing really well, and then some of them have a little bit eaten. But again, not like alive, you know, alive, officially alive. So I'm going to put it out there and say alive for them, so that's excellent, that's really good. Over here my potatoes started to come up and they are still alive, not died yet. So these are my early potatoes, all starting to come up through the ground. Very exciting. Yeah, they seem to be doing all right. I'm just sort of going to leave them alone, really. Just leave them alone. Venturing a little bit further down the plot now, and I've got my sweet corn, which I have planted direct this year, just because I found an article in a magazine saying that it doesn't like its roots being disturbed, and I've really struggled to grow sweet corn over the last couple of years. So I'm going to try something new this year and try growing them directly in the ground. I've got this cloche over it. I've got this fleece, cloche, whatever it is, over it to keep it warm, because they obviously like to be nice and warm and cozy to germinate. Let's see if any of it has germinated. I doubt it, guys. But we can dream, you know, dream big. This is my impression of dreaming big. The sweet corn has germinated really quickly. Is that a sweet corn? No, that can't be a sweet corn. Oh, it might have already germinated. Oh. My first impression was no, nothing. But then I saw this, which looks suspiciously like something I might have purposely planted. And then over here, there's one there. Could that be sweet corn? I don't know. Thing is, with sweet corn, it's a bit sporadic, so it all kind of germinates at its own pace, so it's quite difficult to know if it's a seed or a weed. That's the only thing with planting it direct, I think, but I'll just leave it a bit longer and hopefully something will come up. Peas, not doing too good. Sad about this, because peas have always really worked for me, and this year they're just not. So look, they've just been eaten. I think the problem is I put the slugless on this side but not on that side, and obviously they've just slivered over that side and got them. So that was really silly. But yeah, they're sort of all been eaten. They've not done very well at all. I mean, he's still got some leaves on him. He might grow. Might get a couple. Should have separated them really, I think. Yeah, I mean, that's really funny because peas really worked for me last year, and this year they don't seem to be working at all, which is such a shame, but there we go. Right, we've got flower bed happy. We've got cornflowers and gladioli, and then the dahlias in there, they should be all right. And then we've got our sweet peas at the front here, all alive. Raspberry sticks are now growing into living sticks, absolutely fantastic. And that looks so weird, doesn't it? So weird. I need to build up my structure a bit more, but I'm not going to do it yet because I'm a rebel and I'm going to wait. Also, yes, I will stop poking everything, because I know when you poke stuff, sometimes it dies. There's one bed at the front here we haven't checked out. This one. So, we've got a few parsnips growing, which is excellent. We've sowed a couple new rows of carrots. Some of the old rows are still coming up. So I think they'll be okay. And then we've got our rows of parsnips just there. We've got our garlic and shallots over there, that's all fine. And look at this, guys. Mr. Rhubarb potato has grown a leaf. Can you believe it? Absolutely no idea what it means, but I'm assuming a leaf is a good thing for a plant to have. So you do your thing, Mr. Rhubarb potato, and we'll leave you to it. To your allotment plot with no plan, and you don't really know what you're going to do when you get there, and you sort of wander around a bit and you play, is it alive, has it died, and you think, what can I do? Just start weeding. Just weed. There's always weeds, and if you spend some time weeding whenever you've got a spare moment, it'll never be time that's wasted, because you'll stay on top of it. Also, you see all this overgrowth, it's been growing up by this raised bed, so lots of grasses and weeds and stuff. This is the perfect place for slugs and snails to hide in, so keeping this weeded and keeping this low stops them from having somewhere to hide and to live. It's basically like having a slug and snail hotel right next to your raised bed. You know, this is the hotel and that is the all-you-can-eat buffet. So, you know, you've got to get rid of the hotel. The buffet can stay, but the hotel's got to go. So I've noticed that there's quite a lot of stinging nettles growing around my plot, and apparently stinging nettles are really good to use for like to make a feed. See them all around here. There's like loads of them growing everywhere, and I just think instead of just like ripping them up and throwing them away, maybe I could make something useful with them. So there's a feed that you can make for your plants that's made out of stinging nettles, and you basically chop down some stinging nettles, put it into a bucket or a watering can with loads of water and leave it for about 3 weeks, and it creates a really, I think it's nitrogen, I might be wrong on that though, don't quote me on that, I think it's like a nitrogen rich feed that you then feed to your plants, and it helps with leafy growth. So I'm going to make that because I don't want to waste it, but I also don't want to eat it. Whenever I say there's stinging nettles, somebody always says in the comments you can eat it. I just don't want to, guys. I just don't want to eat stinging nettles. Like, it's just not going to happen. So I know you can. I don't want to. I don't really know the proper correct way of handling stinging nettles because they always sting me no matter what gloves I'm wearing. Oh god, it's really scary because I know they're going to sting me any second. Oh, you might think I'm being a wuss, but they really hurt. I don't want to get stung by them today, I just don't. Oh god, such horrible plants. People eat them. God. It's like I don't want to touch it with gloved hands. Like the idea of putting it in a tea and then drinking it. Like I don't want it near my hands with gloves on, let alone near my mouth, you know? I know. It doesn't sting you when you drink it. I know. But I feel like it will. It just doesn't feel right. I don't know how it works. I don't know if maybe like the more stinging nettles you put in, the stronger the feed is. I don't know if that's right. That feels right, but I don't know. Not everything in gardening is like logical, you know? Some things I think, oh yeah, that's common sense. Some things don't really make sense, you know? Realisation just hit me that I'm filling up a watering can with another watering can. How weird is that? How often do people fill up watering cans with another watering can? It's just not something that happens very often, you know? It's weird. It's like the Twilight Zone. It's like I've stepped outside the Matrix and I'm now filling up a watering can with a watering can. It's weird. It just feels weird. I feel like I'm a kid, like I'm making a potion at school. I don't know if I have to cover the top. I feel like I'd need to cover the top, but I don't know if that's something you need to do, but I think I will. With what? Yeah, because otherwise all the rain is just going to wash it out, isn't it? So now what we'll do is we'll just leave that there, covered very strangely. We'll just leave it there for like 3 weeks and then it will stink, it'll absolutely stink, but it will be a really good feed to put over some of my crops. Hopefully by then pumpkins will be out. I have started my pumpkins in pots at home now, by the way, so if you haven't yet started any pumpkins, start them now. I'm just growing Jack Littles this year, and then the giant pumpkins. I haven't grown a giant pumpkin for like 4 years, so I'm going to grow a massive one this year. Sometimes it is okay just to come down to your allotment plot and just enjoy it and not feel like you have to have a whole list of jobs to be getting on with, you know, just to be able to come down here. And trust me when I say that, because I make these vlogs and it means that I have to like plan my weeks ahead and I have to plan what I'm going to do so that I know what I'm going to be filming, so it makes an interesting vlog. Sometimes it's really important just to come down with no plan, with no idea of what you want to do, and just enjoy it and just be in the moment and just pick some jobs that need doing right then, right there and then. I think a lot of people, when they take their first allotment plot on, they get excited by all the hard work at the beginning, because it is hard work and they like that. But then as the months go on, they lose that kind of, like, you don't want to do all that hard work all the time, so you see your plot as hard work and you don't see it as fun and enjoyable and a space that you can just sit in. You think every time you turn up you've got to do something, and you don't, you really don't. There's no rule that says you have to work when you get to an allotment plot. You can just sit down with a cup of tea and just look at all the flowers and just listen to the birds. I think a lot of people come to an allotment plot with the best intention ever. They want to grow their own food, they want to be out in nature. It's fantastic, but very quickly they lose that kind of, that initial motivation. They lose it because they see it as hard work. Just want you to know that if you have just taken on your first allotment plot, it is okay to slow down a bit. It is okay to rock up here without a plan and just enjoy it. In fact, it's essential. Don't lose the plot, is what I'm trying to say. Don't lose the plot. Just stick with it, enjoy it, see it as fun as well. And if in doubt, just do a bit of weeding. That's what I say, just do a bit of weeding. Well, I'm happy to report that we did pretty much nothing productive today. We made a little bit of what's it called? Stinging nettle comfrey, I think it's called. Stinging nettle feed. We did a bit of weeding. We played Is It Alive, Is It Died? That's about it really. Still, just goes to show, don't need to always turn up with a plan. Sometimes there are jobs to be found if you just look in the right places. I had fun, I've enjoyed my morning, and now I'm set up for the day. I hope you've enjoyed my little vlog today, and if you did, do give it a thumbs up, give it a comment below, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll see you again on Friday for an at-home small garden vlog, showing you all the things that I'm growing in my small London garden at this time of year. So join me again on Friday, 5 PM. See you then. Have a lovely rest of your week. Bye.